Hi, my name is Dr. Rajiv Lala, and I am part of Upstream Solutions in S&P Global Commodity Insights. I lead the research on national oil companies within Commodity Insights, and the subject today that I'm going to talk about is the impact of tariffs on India's energy imports. This is an interesting subject. It's quite hot right now. There's a few things that certainly come to mind when we consider or we talk about this subject. The first thing is the question of strategic autonomy. So, for India, the ability to import energy from global energy suppliers remains a key element of its strategic autonomy. Any impingement or infringement of this decision making is something that India is struggling with, and the question of strategic autonomy cannot be completely disconnected from the way tariffs have been applied on India. The second thing is that India, as a large import dependent nation, has historically had energy security concerns not only around crude oil but increasingly around natural gas as well. So, as an import dependent entity with almost 90% import dependency, the way India imports or the markets that it connects with are something that India takes very seriously. And Indian companies, for the last 10 years or so, have largely followed a strategy of keep calm and import. This is where the upstream component comes into play, that over the last 10 years or so, Indian companies have not really gone out and undertaken large or sizable M&A activity with respect to upstream. So, what Indian companies and India per se has ended up doing is essentially strike supply deals for importing crude oil as well as importing LNG. This continues. The third thing is, and this is a key monitorable as we go forward, is that if the tariffs extend for a prolonged period of time, the impact not only on the labor intensive sectors but also on overall energy demand. Could there be a slowdown in energy consumption in manufacturing and other sectors which are export oriented? Could there be any kind of an impact on the pace of growth in India's oil and gas imports? That is a key monitorable. Finally, India has been historically importing large quantities and growing quantities of both oil and gas. This relationship with various suppliers continues to build, and India remains a significant and a promising energy consumer market. In fact, with respect to India and the United States, large LNG import deals and supply deals have already been signed. So, a key monitorable going forward is going to be whether the tariffs end up impacting future deals that Indian companies may want to sign with American exporters. And in the end, we shall not forget that despite the near term sort of assessment that India has benefited or profited from importing cheaper crude oil, we should not forget the fact that this trade relationship that India has in importing and allowing crude oil to flow from Russia and other sources has been an important contributor to preventing higher inflation globally. And this aspect of India being sort of a bulwark or a buffer against global inflationary headwinds was a strategy accepted and supported by many of the actors in the West. So, overall, this element is also to not be discounted of India's role as a supplier of lower inflationary trends. So, overall, I sense that there is going to be an interesting time ahead as the tariffs have near-term and medium-term impact on India's energy markets and import strategy.